the detective said missing kids usually come home. What happens when they don't?
Based on a true story.
Police looking for John Gacy.
We discovered bodies. By the looks of it, they're younger men.
The things he did to those kids. He's sick.
The system failed these families.
Devil in Disguise, John Wayne Gacy. Streaming now, only on Peacock.
Do you know how many there are?
Up to you to find out.
This episode is brought to you by Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6 is the ultimate all-out warfare experience. Rip through the skies in aerial dogfights. Demolish your surroundings for a strategic advantage. Harness complete control over every action and movement using the kinesthetic combat system. Drop into multiplayer with your squad, or fight furiously as a member of the Dagger 1-3 squad in a gritty, adrenaline-fueled single-player campaign where you'll defend a world on the edge of collapse.
Hey y'all, it's time for Rolling Dice and Taking Names. In this episode, the guys cover Bohemians, plus, in the words of those three amigos, a plethora of 5-minute initiatives, including Everdell Duo, Fountains, Punica, and Cookie Run. Now, would you kiss me on the veranda?
Hello and welcome to Rolling Dice and Taking Names. This is episode 363 Golden. My name is Marty.
I'm Tony.
I applaud your
Thank you.
Title, being the hot song from the movie K-Pop Demon Hunters.
Woo, hot is not, that's an understatement. Man, platinum.
And it's been hot for months.
Yeah. I mean, it just keeps going and going and going. Keeps going, what is it? Keeps going up, up, up. Is that it? Is that the line to it, the lyric?
Nice.
Thank you.
Well played. Well played. It's funny. I've watched a few reaction videos to that song, and the high note that she hits is absolutely insane. And I always like to wait until she hits that high note and everybody goes, holy crap. Mm-hmm. And then they pause and it's like, what the stinking note on that? And they go find what note it is. So yeah, if that is not nominated for best song in a movie for the, award season, then that's absolute shame.
It'll be interesting to see next year if it even gets nominated for best movie.
It should get nominated for animated. If it's not nominated for animated, I'll be totally surprised.
Yeah, me too. I mean, yes, I'm not a big demon hunter killer guy, but I did watch it. Surprise, surprise. I didn't realize that the singers and the voice actors were different. I got to see that. So interesting. Very interesting. And, they were just on Jimmy Fallon, and that was fun to watch. They're still young. It's fun to watch young people make that kind of stardom.
Did he interview the actors or the singers?
The singers.
The singers. Then I need to go. Did they actually perform the song?
Yes.
Oh, then I got to go watch that. Because I want to see her hit that note live.
Oh, yeah. And, beyond nervous. And then they have all the afters and all this stuff going on. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure NBC was like, thank you to the 10 million, 20 million, 30 million people who watched this on YouTube alone. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to go see how many people watch that particular clip.
All right, important stuff. We got some sports ball news here. So everybody, if you want to, go ahead and hit your fast forward button.
Well, as long as the sports ball stuff doesn't talk about our alma mater's football season.
I'm not even going to mention that. That was just a pathetic game yesterday. Absolutely pathetic. Oh, I'm going to throw the ball away. Away means out of bounds, not to the opposing team. Okay, Bailey? Let's work on this.
Hey, I'm counting down the days to basketball season. Since we're in the sports ball section, we signed the number one player in the state, and he's in the top 30 in the nation. So our new guy, Will Wade, can recruit, so I can't wait to see what he does with this talent.
What's his recruitment line? Well, at least you're not playing for the football team.
That's right.
We win.
Wait. The guys go, do I have to play football? No football needed.
No. You don't have to worry. No. Well, maybe you might help them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right. So I got to go to Chicago recently to attend a wedding.
Windy City.
It wasn't windy. It was hotter there than it was here. It was like 89 degrees. Mm-hmm. It was unreal. Did some of the Chicago tour things, but I was very excited that I got to tour Wrigley Field. Now, have you done that?
No, not did the tour, but I saw a game there.
Oh, so, well, Wrigley Field, amazing amount of history, unreal what they do up there in Chicago with at that stadium and how their philanthropy, is that the right word there? Giving back to the community, constantly rebuilding that community up there. And I was very excited because Wrigley Field is one of those iconic stadiums of baseball. No, I mean, it's just, when you think of some of the baseball, Fenway, Yankee Stadium and Wrigley Field, it's just what comes to mind.
Yeah, but even with Yankee Stadium, it's the new one. So there's really only two kind of iconic historical stadiums now.
Okay. What's the second one? I'm racking the brain here, trying to think, and I'll probably put you on the spot. But
Fenway.
Fenway. That's
Fenway
right.
Yeah. So Wrigley was built in 1914. Wow. So 111 years old.
Yes. And it's been expanded on many, 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 many times. Including lights, and I got to hear all the history around the lights and how the ivy was done. But I've done the Fenway tour and almost got arrested thanks to my wife. We broke away from the tour so she could sit in seats that she remembers as a kid, and they said, "Excuse us, you need to stick with your tour, or we'll escort you out." Okay. Yeah. So what was so special about this one was when we did the tour, I'm expecting you're going to walk around the stadium, nothing major, right? We went down on the freaking field twice.
Nice.
We stood next to the ivy, got our picture with the ivy.
Nice.
And Donna's looking at this and she's talking about it. And Donna's like, wait a minute, did she just say there's nothing behind this ivy other than brick wall? I said, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. There's no padding back there.
So when them boys hit it and the warning track is 6 feet bigger, so the outfielders know.
Yeah.
It's also crushed brick so they can hear their steps hit.
I didn't realize it was crushed brick.
Yes.
Yeesh.
I think that's what she said. And then we walked around. We ended up in the press box, Harry Carey, all that good stuff.
Nice.
Got to sit up there.
Did you sing the song?
No, we did not. That was at the, I got to pay homage. And they were talking about they had to expand the press box because of all the Japanese sportscasters coming in town.
Okay.
Makes sense. I was like, why is that? And I go, well, you think of all the, Japanese. Here, let me show you the list. Okay, of everybody. Yeah. And then we went down in the dugout, and I got to pretend like I was hanging out at the dugout with my rally cap on. I was just like, this is probably one of the best tours of a baseball stadium I've ever had. It was just unreal. And they did an amazing job.
So it's my thing. I love going to ball games in different stadiums. But the only one I took a tour of was actually not Candlestick Park. Whatever the new one is for the Giants. I can't think of the name of it now. So we got to take a tour. It was the same sort of thing. Got to go down the field, sit in the dugout and stuff. That was really cool. So do you remember talking about the lights thing? So the first night game for the Cubs was sometime in the 80s. And I remember that because when we were collecting baseball cards, there was a card from one set that was dedicated to the first night that the lights went on in Chicago.
Yeah, I remember that now that you said that. Yeah, my suddenly memory, neurons firing all across the head. Absolutely. And the reason why they didn't have the lights is they were going to install them before the 1940s. They had them sitting there ready to go in, and suddenly the war started, World War II, and they donated the lights to the war effort. And then when the next people came in, they said, no, we're going to keep it, this nighttime stuff's a fad. Nah, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, you got to worry about it. You got to get them installed. Okay.
There are bad seats in that stadium.
Oh, yes.
Did you notice that?
I sat in one of them. Must be up in the cheap seats.
It's like, I can't see the field. There's a column right here.
Right there. And you got to bend and you got to fly. What is it Bob Uecker used to say? Going to the front row. I forget that famous line he does.
Must be in the front row.
Must be in the front row.
Yeah.
Yeah. But people say that, yes, even during the playoff games, people know about those seats. They buy them anyway. They don't care.
Oh, sure. I mean, Cubs is still a huge draw. The year I got to see them, it just worked out where the Reds were there. So I got to see them play the Reds. We actually got decent seats. We sat behind the catcher, probably about one section up. So it was really nice seats. But what's really interesting is everything, the vendors and stuff that are set outside the stadium in the streets, So all the streets are shut down that's around it. And it's just people kind of get together. It's almost like a tailgate party, but no tailgating sort of deal before you even go to the stadium.
Yeah. And she was talking about the bleacher seats, not the ones on the rooftops now that they've installed, but she was talking about the actual The numbers and the rows are suggestions. It's a free-for-all. You are allowed to sit anywhere. And if you go, you do not make a scene about it because you get what you get. And don't say, oh, this was my seat. No, it's not. You didn't get here. Don't think it's safe. I was like, that's pretty cool.
That's interesting. Why don't they just say it's just kind of a general admission? That way there's not even any confusion, you know?
I have no idea. Anyway. But another thing, back to baseball, is Banana Ball's coming back to Charlotte, and Donna told me that the lottery's already closed.
It is incorrect. The lottery closes October 31st, so you can still enter right now. Did you see, I mean, it was a huge, like ESPN covered this big announcement show that they had down in Savannah announcing not only the stadiums, but also the teams that are coming. So coming back to Charlotte, it's going to be at Truist Field. Thank you. Panther Stadium was an absolute nightmare. Yeah, your chances of getting to the game are pretty slim now, but at least it'll be a game experience. But it's not going to be the Bananas. It's going to be two of the other teams. It's the Firefighters and Party Animals, which is fine. Mm-hmm. So Vanessa put in for the lottery for the Charlotte game. I put in for the lottery for the Savannah games.
Okay.
For Savannah, it's basically you don't pick a date. It's just like you're in a lottery for every Savannah game. And if you get one, that's the one you got to go to. So hopefully the date works out for you.
Okay. Well, I may have to do that since I have, a place to stay until July.
Yep.
So maybe I will do that. I'll put in for both of them and see what happens. So yeah, I was surprised that she said that. I'm like, really? I mean, I would think they'd try to keep it open, but good that they're coming back to Truist Field.
Oh, people who don't know what people don't know what Truist Field is. So this game was played in the Carolina Panthers Stadium, which holds about 70,000 people. Truist Field is our AAA baseball team stadium, which only holds 10 to 11,000. So it's a true baseball field. So there you go.
Yeah, well, last time the Panther Stadium got sold out. Anyway, okay. Now, and the Truist Stadium. This was so cool.
I'm sorry, one other big news. One of the teams that they added to the league next year, did you see this, was the Indianapolis Clowns?
Yes, the Clowns.
This is really cool. So I didn't know about the Clowns. The Clowns were a former touring baseball team that was part of the Negro League that also focused on entertainment. So in the 40s and stuff like that, that's what they did. They were kind of like the Bananas. They went around and just wanted to create an entertaining product on the field for people to watch. People like Satchel Paige and Hank Aaron were part of the Indianapolis Clowns. So now they've rebooted the team, working with the Negro League Museum to kind of honor their memory. And one of the honorary captains for big games is going to be Ryan Howard, who used to play for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah. I did not know that. All right. I just know that they're probably going to have one of the coolest hats out there.
Yeah, I'm buying a hat. And also the other team that was announced, the Loco Beach Cocos or something like that, also has a really cool logo too.
Oh, man. Yeah. See, it'll be interesting to see how long this wave lasts. I'm not going to predict that, it can't go on forever, because you never do know. As long as you're entertaining and filling seats, and they can always scale back. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what's important. And finally, the last sports ball news is our alma mater, North Carolina State, is playing hockey at Truist Field in the winter.
Yes, hadn't they done this before?
I don't know.
No, I'm sorry. It's the Checkers. It's the Charlotte Checkers, which is the AAA hockey team, has played a game in there. Mm-hmm. I did not know about this. Do we want to get tickets and go?
We're working on that right now. Yes, Donna and I. If you're interested, I will. Yep.
Well, let's talk offline, because I'll bet Vanessa would want to go too. So maybe we can get a foursome and go out there and watch.
It'll be actually a sixsome, because Donna's brother and sister-in-law are planning on coming down, and that's good. That works for me.
Cool. All right, let's do it. That's cool. I didn't know they were doing that. I know they've played an outdoor game in Carter Finley, which is the football stadium. They have done one of those there. No, that's right. That's incorrect. It's the Hurricanes that played a game there. That's right. It was the Hurricanes that played in Carter Finley. Yeah.
When you and I were at the school, we didn't have a hockey team. We had a hockey club.
Correct.
So that's why Don goes, well, the NC State hockey team's playing. I said, well, you mean the club? She's like, no. I'm like, are you sure? Because I don't know. All right, everybody who come back, come on back. Now we're ready to board games.
Sports talk is over. All right. So I went to the mountains over the weekend with my family to go see the leaves change. We were about 7 days too early. We didn't hit the peak, but it was fine. It was still really nice over in Maggie Valley. And I got to introduce 2 games to them. One of them is a two of them are, wow, how about this? Both of them are brand new games. One of them is a Carnivore Did It. This is from Horrible Games. And Tony, if you like straight logic co-op deduction games, that's what this is. The idea is that you're going to deal out these animal cards based on the scenario sheet. And the scenario sheet's going to say, okay, deal out this number of character cards. In this scenario, one of these characters are lying, the others are telling the truth, and there is only one culprit. So you assign these numbered cards. They tell you assign this card to each character, and it could be like the first character, the Panther says, oh, I know that the character that's over 169 centimeters did it. Another character said, I didn't do it. And there could be another character said, that other character is lying. All right. And so you have to deduce what the actual situation is, and it pinpoints one particular person. But the thing is, though, is there's over 1,000 of these scenarios that get progressively harder. As you go along, more character cards will be dealt. There'll be more clues. There'll be more number of people that are lying. Sometimes it'll be like 3 people are lying, or 2 people are telling the truth. The rest of them are lying. Or there's now like 3 culprits that you have to deduce. So it just gets progressively harder. So the nice thing about this, if you like this, you could play solo all day long. You just kind of lay it out and see if you can figure out the puzzle, or you get together as a group and try to deduce the puzzles. And of course they last like 2 or 3 minutes. It's how long it takes the group to figure it out. And then you can move on to the next puzzle or anything like that. So that's a really interesting kind of little group co-op game if you're into logic puzzles.
Okay, I'm sitting here looking at it on BGG, and they're saying 20 minutes, 8 and up. So that sounds interesting. It's kind of cool that it says over 2,000 cases.
That's it. Yeah, there's a card that you put this cute little slider over that just highlights one line, and on the back is one of those red tinted films that tells you what the actual answer is. But each card has 200 scenarios on it, 100 on each side, and there's 20 cards. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds cute. That sounds like a really fun family game, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Okay.
There's 20 difficulty levels, and you can either do like a campaign mode or just kind of standalone mode. We did standalone sort of deal. So, Horrible Guild, Carnivore Did It, small box game. If that sounds interesting to you. Another one that we got to play. This is from Smirk and Dagger, and it's called This Game is Killer. And it's a hilariously deadly party game. This is a party game that plays up to 10 people, and it takes about 15 minutes. So did you ever see the movie The Thing?
The Thing. Yes, I did. Kurt Russell.
Yes. Somebody takes over a human. They got to figure out which one of these people is the monster sort of deal. That's what this game is.
Well, why am I thinking of It? It's not It.
It's the one with the clown. Kurt Russell, you're right. Kurt Russell's
okay.
It.
So this game is a killer alien on board?
Frozen Horror.
Oh, Frozen Horror.
This one is the Frozen Horror version.
Okay.
So there's a small map. You have little character tokens. You're going to start in a room, and everybody's dealt 2 cards. Your card allows you to move to an adjacent room based on a color. There's these colors between the doors, and it says you could take either this color, move to another room, or there's an action on it that you do. When it's your turn, you play one of the cards for either the movement or the action. When it's your second turn in the round, you must use the other card for the other thing. So if you moved with one, you have to use the action of the other or vice versa.
Makes sense.
At the very end of the round, everybody flips over who they are. One person's going to be a horror. Everybody else is human. If you're in a room with a horror, you die. You're out of the game. For everybody who survived, we take up all the human and horror cards, reshuffle them, and put them back out. So the same person that was the horror the first round may not be the horror the second round. Kind of mimic the theme of the movie. And you keep going until, one, you kill the horror person who was the horror that round, or every human is killed. We liked it. It's super fast. It's super fun. I want to play this at BooBQ because it supports so many people and it's super quick. And they even say the rules, look, if you die, don't worry. This game's going to be over real quick and you can just reset and do it again.
All right. So how do you kill the horror? I missed that.
Oh, yeah, I didn't explain. So there are certain actions. There are certain actions on the card that may say, I'm going to light this room on fire. If you're in this room at the end of the round, you're dead. There are other cards that will say you can block off passages. There are some cards that say everybody reveal who they are. So you may know who the horror is, and then the rest of you may try to work to lock this person in and go, hey, I can start the room on fire if we can lock this person in.
Got it.
There are some actions that force people to move. Point to a room. Everybody in that room must move.
Okay. I'm sitting here trying to think through that. I mean, did you have a lot of, well, I think it's him. I think it's him. No, I think it's him. It doesn't sound like this game lends itself to that because it's 2 cards and it's constantly moving, which you've got me right there. And I can be eliminated. That makes it even better for me.
I mean, there'll be something like people like, that's suspicious. Why did he do that sort of deal? And then it's like, all right, you go, but no, you're not sitting there discussing for 5 minutes or anything like that because it just moves that fast. And then what's cool is, like Vanessa is not a big fan of games where, I hate being the one that has to be lying, all this stuff. Well, it can change every round. So if you're at one round, you may not be at the next round.
Exactly. And I like that. I like that. It keeps you guessing, which doesn't mean, to your point, hey, she did that. Why did she do that? But then next round, she may not be the horror, so that's gone. You don't have to carry that forward. It's completely, you waste that. I mean, wipe that from your memory because it doesn't matter now.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So that actually sounds kind of nice.
Oh, cool. BooBQ, because it plays up to 10 people. We'll try with a big group and we'll see how it goes. So again, this game is Killer, a frozen horror from Smirk and Dagger Games. All right. Lastly, my sister said, can I just bring a deck of cards and we play card games? I went, yes, of course.
That is so passe. That is.
She said, do you know how to play hearts and spades? I said,
do I know how to play hearts
girlfriend.
and spades?
All right. So here's the thing is, my dad wanted to play and my sister's daughter, my niece, wanted to play. Neither of them have played hearts. Now, Tony, you are a very experienced hearts player. Have you ever had the opportunity to sit and play with people who have never played hearts before?
Yes.
Does it not totally mess you up on how to play the game because they do things that make no sense and then you're like really confused on what to do? Let's face it, hearts is there's not a lot of variability to it. You typically do this, and this. It's very structured. If you got this, If you got this, you'll play this sort of deal. There's not a lot of guesswork involved. But when somebody passes you cards, I'm like, why did you pass me this? Sort of deal. And then they'll play something and you go, why did you? Like for one time, my niece just played the Queen of Spades, which is bad.
Unless.
Right. So then she took it. I'm sitting there thinking, no.
She can't run this.
She can't. She can't run
shoot
this.
the moon.
So anyway, it really messes you up playing with people that never played. There were sometimes some cards were played, and my sister, who's played a lot, we would just look at each other and go, what? My dad will play something and you go, why did you play that?
Exactly.
Anyway.
No, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, it happens in hearts. Spades is different. Of course, that's a lot of strategy there, but you're right. Hey, if I've got so many, if I'm flush in a suit or I know that I can bail on a suit, then I may be able to take a run at it. And then maybe I won't hide it, play the Queen of Spades and say, oh, okay. Now here come all the other spades. Bam, 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 bam.
Right.
Because you know that the ace and they're going to shoot the moon. Yeah, I understand that. The same thing happens in old Pshaw with people sometimes. Even experienced players. They'll do things. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, I know what you're getting ready to do. Here they come. Here come all the trumps. You're going to bleed the trumps out so no one else can, because you don't want to take any tricks. I hate that.
So I had Rebel Princess in my bag, which is the game by Bezier Games, which is based on hearts. Mm-hmm. And I sat there. After that, I read the rules. My sister said, we're going to try it. And I said, to be honest, Tori, I said, I don't think we can. I said, because You know, it does. That game is fantastic because it gives you special abilities, and then rules each round are kind of broken and modified. It's like, no, it's too early. But I really want to play with us again because we got the expansion to go with the Rebel Princess, so we need to play amongst ourselves again. But anyway, it was fun just going back and playing the classic Hearts game until you realize there's better card games out there.
Well, I mean, so I agree. I will always play, unfortunately, I have to, but I will always play Oh Pshaw or Oh Hell. But as long as it's 4 or more people. And then, of course, with my aunt and uncle, we always will, as long as there's more, it's so funny. I always have limits. You know, have you done that where, let's play this? I say, I'm not playing that card game with just 3 people. I'm not doing that.
Right.
If it's cribbage and there's 2, I'm okay with that. Hand and foot, I need at least 6 and only 2 teams. The sequence, I took sequence to my aunt and uncle. They hadn't played that in forever. And we were playing sequence, which is nothing more than play a card, place a chip. Play a card, place a chip. And even in that game, you're looking at there, why did you play that card there and then put your chip away from where we all are? You got me, you know? Or, you just played the 2-eyed jack to place a wild, but yet you didn't build on ours, nor did you block. Okay, anyway, I understand. It's one of those things.
Oh, before we move on to taste buds, there's an anecdote I want to run back by you on This Game is Killer. The only time we had to pause the game was my dad could not understand the action of one of the cards. Okay. And we argued about this for like 15 minutes. So I'm going to tell you what the card says. You tell me how you interpret it, okay?
Okay, I'm listening.
As a player, I'm going to play this card. It says, there's 4 rooms, okay? It says, choose a room. All other players must exit the room.
The dreaded all other. Oh, good gosh.
You nailed it. So how do you interpret that card? We're playing now. I'm going to play this card. All other players choose a room. I'm going to choose a room that I'm in.
All other players, and that is everyone but me.
Okay. I agree. And everybody I've asked agrees. My dad would not accept that. He said, that's worded horribly. Said, how do I know it's not me? But I said, because here's another example of a card that's in there. It says all players. That means including you. Mm-hmm. So it went back and forth. I still think it's a badly worded card. I said, I don't know how you can word it any better than that without making it so long. You know, if you happen to choose a room that's you, then every other person must leave, but not you. Right. You know, it just gets wordy.
Players other than you must leave the room.
But anyway, that was just a funny, you immediately hit it, the all others statement.
It's a constant battle. Constantly. I mean, we even do it in our group where why do they need to go do all other? I understand what they're saying, and as long as that's generic, but sometimes they word it in such a way that it says, you know, where we're like, okay, does that mean the individual or does it mean every other? Every other player. Every
That's
other what player beginning with who?
The worst wording is every other. I agree. That is bad wording because you can easily misconstrue that for it skips a person.
Exactly. And where do I start? Me?
Right.
Do I go clockwise, counterclockwise? Which way do you want me to go? Every other player. Come on.
Now this reminds me of something else that happened. We played the game called Slide that I've played with you. Where you
Great
have the
game.
cards.
Love the game.
All right. So I just said, hey, at the end of the round, all cards that are matching orthogonally get removed. So everybody's sitting around. I said, I don't know what the word orthogonally means. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I said, anything that's directly above or below to the left or right. So my sister said, oh, you mean adjacent? I went, It is adjacent, but not diagonal. Well, she said, well, diagonal's not adjacent.
Oh,
Tony, this went on for 24 hours. She's a math teacher, and she kept trying to explain to me adjacent can't be diagonal. And so she was bringing up all these definitions and stuff. And I said, okay, well, you presented me this definition. Let me present to you this definition. And it was getting really, really out there. I mean, she said, adjacent means they must share vertexes.
Wow.
And so I showed her an example where they didn't. She took like 2 cards and put them side by side. She said, that's adjacent. I went, yes, that's adjacent. So I took one and slid it down a little bit down the side. I said, do you consider this adjacent? She said, no. I
Why?
said, every person on the face of this planet would still consider this adjacent. She said, because the corners no longer match up. I said, then you're way overthinking this.
Oh my goodness. Or if I run into that too. If if the card's touching but not at a corner, fine. Yes, it's that's why examples are so key sometimes in rule books, right?
Yes.
You know me. We've talked about it. I got 2 lawyers in the family. Wow. Where's the comma? Just shoot me now. But it does not say that. I go, no, it does not say that. Well, nor should it be implied. Oh, please stop. Just stop. Play the game.
Speaking of playing, why don't we play Taste Buds?
Taste buds. Taste buds. Taste buds. 2 incredible stuff. Taste buds. 2 incredible stuff. Taste buds. They're just a bunch of.
All right, you presented our treat today. Why don't you tell us what it is?
All right. Mountain Dew's coming out with their flavors, but what I have not seen, and we are getting very close to Halloween, is the voodoo flavor.
I must do a quick Google.
I have not seen it out there. It has not been produced. You presented to us lately the trolley, which finally showed up in my local grocery store. But I saw Mountain Dew dragon fruit. Now, you and I have done a taste test. We were given some dragon fruit. And dragon fruit, certain ones have amazing flavor. Some dragon fruit
Okay, hold on.
does
Stop.
not have flavor. I'm stopping.
I'm sorry. This is a major announcement.
Thank you.
There will be no Mountain Dew Voodoo flavor in 2025. Instead, the Mountain Dew's collaborating with Trolley with a new non-mystery drink called Mountain Dew X Trolley Cherry Lemon.
There you go.
Not a fan.
Because that's always fun.
That is fun. I cannot believe that. It's a great marketing thing. People buy it to try to guess the flavor. Let's go.
I know someone who works for Pepsi, and I will contact them and explain my dissatisfaction. And maybe they can work it through corporate and see if it makes it to somebody's desk who will then look at it and say, delete. You know?
Unbelievable.
So, dragon fruit. Like I said, there's not much taste to some dragon fruit. You got to get the right color.
Okay.
Do you remember that? Do you remember when we tasted dragon fruit?
I did. Yep.
All right. So we've got this. Now, this is not, I have yet to see. That's the other thing. We complain about this all the time. 0 people. Mountain Dew zeros. Let's go. Put them on the shelves.
Yeah. I ain't drinking this whole thing. This is full powered, baby. All the sugar in the world.
Here it goes. All right. Here we go.
Smells fruity.
Smells fruity like every other freaking Mountain Dew that we've had that's been fruity.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Oh! Was not expecting that. Huh?
It's got some aftertaste to me.
Oh, I'm not sure.
It's like it tastes good going in, but once I swallow it, I know I really said that poorly. I understand that. I've opened myself up for comments. Like
I think that one needs to be on the YouTube shorts.
Yeah, that one could be snipped.
Oh, he does it again.
Dang it. Oh, jeez. All right. It's, I won't back. So let's explain what this is. I mean, I wouldn't know that it's dragon fruit. It just tastes like a fruity Mountain Dew flavor. It is very indistinguishable to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fruity. Yeah, exactly. This could have been, hey, this voodoo flavor, let's just stick it in a dragon fruit can. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't, it failed the Snicker test. Yeah. I don't remember dragon fruit tasting like this. Like I said, it was plain before, but I've had good dragon fruit and this ain't it. I've got 10 of these I got to get rid of.
Oh, Geez, yeah, give them away for Halloween. All right, before we go, though, a listener of the show, Patrick, has sent us a box I have not opened yet that has taste bud elements in here, Tony. So I thought I would open this and we can see what's in here together and tease what's coming up on future shows.
Okay. Well, thank you, Patrick. We really do appreciate you doing that. I mean, hey, we can't provide the entertainment. Someone has to.
Otherwise, you're just stuck with Mountain Dew flavors.
Well, I did get something I've been looking for, and my daughter made me try. With the trolleys, there was Mountain Dew trolley gummies. They're at Walgreens. I haven't found them at our local Walgreens.
Okay.
So they taste like the Mountain Dew flavors.
All right. So here we go. I'm going to start with stuff that we've already tasted, but I've always appreciate a good moon pie, blueberry moon pie.
Good stuff.
We went to Mass General Store. There's one in Waynesville, and my niece bought a big sampler of the moon pies because she never tried a lot of them. Whoa. She didn't like any of the fruit.
Really?
Nope.
She needs to work
salted
on that.
Caramel was one of her favorite, though. I do like salted caramel. Mm-hmm. So he sent us a salted caramel, a blueberry. All right, so 2 of each. So I'll just bring you 1 of each just to have. Okay. We have tried both of these before. I do like both of them. I think I like salted caramel better, but...
And I'm the opposite.
All right, so... all right, here we go. It's some sort of Oreo, but it's not in English, so I don't know what that is. Oh, is that dragon fruit?
I can't... Your camera is blurry to me, which is the... Yes, that looks to be dragon fruit. I bet this will taste way better.
I wonder if I take the Lens app on my phone, if it will translate it. Let's see. Let's see how smart my phone is. Translate. Crisp bread, matcha fig flavor. Matcha fig flavor.
Ooh, that will be an interesting one. I'm not a big matcha fan. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm not a big fig fan. Okay, this is cool. Thank you, Patrick. This is a whole sleeve of these, so we'll get together and do that. But
I love fig.
You do? Okay. There's more. How about puckering pickled onion potato chips?
Nice.
Okay. We've got Supreme prawn cocktail potato chips.
Okay.
We've got, oh boy, I need to pull out Lens again. It's some sort of Lay's Asian flavor.
Okay.
Is that seaweed? All right, so hold on. Thank you, Google Lens, for being able to translate these things for us. Seaweed flavor. Okay. All right, cool. So we got we got a lot to try, Tony. We got a special hot sauce. This says Da Bomb. This is Evolution. So this is the really nasty one on Hot Ones.
Yes.
But I don't think this is the same as Da Bomb on Hot Ones. There is an official Da Bomb, but still, for sure, I always try any hot sauce. And finally, we got a box of Turkish Delight. Natural plain, Lokman plain Turkey. I don't know what this is.
I just know it from the Lion Witch in the Wardrobe. Turkish Delight.
Okay.
I've never had it. I just know it from that story where the one kid meets up with the witch and she feeds him a Turkish Delight that entices him to bring his sisters to her. And that's a bad thing.
Okay. Oh, man, Patrick, thank you so much. We got a lot of taste buds coming up, man. Maybe what we can do is we can get together and record some of these live together, since the bags of potato chips we'll have to share. And we can either split them into multiple taste buds or do all the chips in one taste bud, maybe. And then do some of the other stuff too. So, Patrick, thank you so much. We can't wait to try some of these out. There's some really unique stuff. And guys, if anybody else would like to send this stuff to try, just hit me up on our Discord channel. You could just DM us there and we can get you the address information. That's a very dangerous thing to put out there, but I'll say it anyway. And if you want to send us something to try for taste buds, we'll check it out. Tony, I just learned about something that Miniature Market does. They have a buyback program where you can sell back your Pathfinder and D&D miniatures. You know, over the years, there have been so many of these miniatures that's been used for either RPGs or miniature games in general. Well, now Miniature Market has a buyback program where you can go over to their page and download a spreadsheet, and it'll give you the price that they will give you back if you just send in your miniatures. And now what you can do is you can get that as store credit. There's a cash buyback, but of course you'll get a little more credit or a little more value if you do the store credit, and then you can just hold that to use for buying either more miniatures, other games, etc. So if you've got a lot of miniatures, the Pathfinder battles and the D&D miniatures lying around collecting dust, go download this spreadsheet, look up what you got, and you can submit those to Miniature Market, get a quote, box them up, ship them back to you, and then you can use that store credit to get you something else in the future. And there's always something we all want from miniaturemarket.com. Atelier.
Atelier.
Atelier. What? That's Italian.
It's what mine is saying. You do you, I do me.
Well, I'm just saying. I've gotten 3 different pronunciations. Atelier. I have that one. And then I have from the Oxford Dictionary, Atelier.
Okay. Well, you know those Oxford people sound funny. So for y'all who don't know, we're getting ready to do a quick review of the new game from Portal called Bohemians. Now, this is a card deck building game.
Pause.
Why?
We got to give a disclaimer.
Oh, Ignacy forced us. Is that the disclaimer?
No, that's not the disclaimer.
Okay.
Portal Games is a sponsor of this show. This is from Portal Games. So we're going to give you an objective overview of this game, as in what it is, what it does.
After all that, she's a deck builder. Mm-hmm. Okay, everybody, I know you've played deck builders before, haven't you? Tell us how we're going to play this game. And by the way, there's a video by Ignacy that says you can do it in under 3 minutes.
Well, it depends. Do you have to read all the flavor text and the rules?
No.
We're stepping into the picturesque streets of Paris.
Gosh.
Where artists who embark on romantic escapades seek inspiration and avoid making your life miserable. You're going to take the role of a bohemian artist. Okay, so it's obviously very much leaning into... What did we say? We figured out it was like the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah, the Gilded, I would say around the Gilded Age. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
So the art style is really nice. They've been really talking about like the art. The art is really good. The art was drawn by, okay, it's by 3 people: Hanna Kuick, Roman Kachowski, and Thomas Zedereskik. I probably butchered every single one of those. And this is designed by Jasper Delange.
Okay.
But like I said, Tony, it's a deck building game. So right off the bat, you say, "Oh, in a deck building game, I got some starter cards. Mm-hmm. I'm going to draw 5 cards. I want to play those cards. Typically, there's a mechanism to get more cards into my deck. With a deck building game, you're probably going to want to build some sort of engine for some goal. In this game, the goal is you're trying to purchase achievement cards. Those achievement cards cost inspiration. In fact, that's the resource that you spend to buy cards and these achievement cards. And once somebody has obtained 5 inspiration cards, that will trigger the end of the game.
Mm-hmm. Now,
I said inspiration cards, 5 achievement cards.
Achievement cards, that's right. Now, the cards, there are 2 markets here. We've got habit cards. These are things that you do, your habits. Like, oh, I'm going to go daydreaming, walking along the river, or I may just sit there and focus and collect my thoughts. And so there's 40 of these habit cards, and there'll be 4 out in the market for you to buy. But there's also these muse cards, people who inspire you, who can bring your imagination to the forefront. And you can also purchase those. Now, these cards can range in inspiration costs 5 to 7. I don't think I saw any really big ones, Marty, but on your turn, you have 5 cards in your hand. Now, you're only going to play 4 of these cards unless they are muses. The muses will allow you to draw another card. So you will always have at least 5 habit cards and muses available to you to play, because during your routine is where you're placing your habit cards. And when you place these out on the board, you're going to be lining up various inspiration tokens. There could be some eyes, some hearts, some locks.
Inspiration icons.
Icons, right. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Icons and some tigers.
Locks, eyes, tigers, hearts. Yes. And those along the edge of the cards, the left and right hand side. So your goal is to put 2 cards together, that will complete that image. And that's how you generate a inspiration that you'll go to the market with.
Mm-hmm. So as you're doing that, there's your first challenge of your routine, is building this out to get the maximum out of the 5 cards, to put them together. Now, also during the morning and night, you will have various inspiration icons on your player board that if you line up those colors, you get additional inspiration. For instance, let's just keep it simple. If I play a blue card in the morning and my board has a blue background in the morning, I will get an additional inspiration. And there's one in the morning and one in the night. So that's important. You need to be thinking about that as well. And there are icons actually on your board. Now, one of the things I liked, Marty, was everybody's board was different. Okay, so the
colors on the left and right were different. Yeah, because you have 4 slots to put the cards. And I do like that too. And also, the boards also have 2 icons, half icons on the left and right, which are also different. So kind of starting out, you're going to try to probably build towards those icons. For example, I'm looking at one now that has a half eye, half, we just call it a bobcat or whatever. And so you probably want to buy cards, at least have those starting out. And you want to buy those colors. Like you said, if you have blue, then you want to buy blue cards because you want to get that extra inspiration. Again, it's all about generating this resource to go to the market. And you have to build an engine to build a lot of resources because those achievement cards that you're buying start out at like 8 inspiration, but they're going to go up to 15. So over the course of the game, they get more and more expensive.
Right. And let's be fair to the game. The eyeball is focus. The heart is playfulness. A lock is curiosity. And it's not a tiger. It's actually the mask, the theater mask. You know what I'm talking about? For expression.
Yeah.
For expression.
Got it.
Now, and like any good card-driven game or deck-building game, the cards that you are buying after your starter will have text with them that will then also kick in if certain conditions are met or allow you to do things. Like I think, Marty, you had one that allowed you to reduce the cost if you bought a muse. And so it's what you expect in a deck builder. Now, tell us about the muse a little bit and how they work.
Yeah, so the muses, again, like you said, you have that separate market and you go out and buy those. And anything you buy goes in your discard pile, so eventually you'll draw it back. The muse will go to the bottom area of the board. There's four spots for the muse, but the muse will tell you which of the 4 slots they can go into. Some of them all 4, some of them only 2. And some muses will want to be matched up with the same color card. So for example, I had a muse that had a green link in the bottom right-hand corner, meaning, oh, you want to match this up with a green card above it in order to trigger its ability. Again, there's part of your engine building. Oh, I have several green muses, then I want to buy green cards to be able to activate those when they come together. And those just give you additional abilities too, but that's also having muses generates additional card draw, which gives you more options to build those combinations to get the inspirations. But Tony, you said we could play 4 cards, but there is a detriment to playing 4 cards.
That's right. You have given to your inspiration. You are trying to make yourself a better artist, but that doesn't put bread on the table. That doesn't pay the bills. No, you need to actually do your job. So instead of playing one of those cards to your board, you only play up to 3. You can put your worker in place there. Well, that of course breaks some of the inspirations. You no longer have a match.
Your worker.
Yeah.
You mean your job card?
Your job card, yeah.
Okay, yep.
You place that job card there. Shoot, Marty was a beggar. I don't know how that was a job.
A beggar. What was your job?
Basically a waitress, I believe.
And all the jobs at the very beginning of the game have a different setup. I think you got to get a muse or something like that.
I did.
I got an extra card into my deck for an extra habit card. So if you play all 4 cards and don't do your job, well, you've generated a hardship. There's another deck of cards, and these are like typical deck building games. Cards that go into your deck that are bad, that do bad things for you. So you'd have to take one of those hardship cards, put it in your discard pile. Now, when you draw that, it must immediately go into a play above your player board, and it has some bad effect.
And it doesn't go away. It always sits up there.
There is a way to get rid of it. We'll talk about it in a second. But those cards are really bad. But sometimes it's like, I really need all 4 cards to play, because if I play 4 cards, I will get enough inspiration to go get one of those achievement cards. So I'll absorb one of those hardship cards this time. And these hardships are all over the place on what they are and stuff. And like there's one that's anxiety. There's one that's envy. But Tony happened to draw the funniest one of all,
Syphilis.
which is syphilis. I do not still understand why the art on that card is a person cut in half.
Maybe they're trying to figure out what's wrong with them. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But what I like is, Tony, what does your syphilis card do if it's in play?
You know, I remember that if it's in play, when I play it, I can now go search the deck and get another one and put it in any player's deck. I don't remember.
He spread syphilis.
Yes.
Tony was spreading syphilis last night.
That's right. I was. It was, but if I've spread out all the syphilis I can, then if I can't find any more people to give syphilis to because it's out of the deck, I end up having to take another hardship because I couldn't spread my wealth, So that's one of the bad things about the syphilis cards. Now, so deck building, you're getting your inspiration, your money portion to buy additional cards, your habit cards, your muses, you're doing all that. You're deciding whether or not you want to play your job, be the beggar that you are. And all deck builders, if you can't use all your money, it disappears, but not here. That's why you got to hear us trying to pronounce a word.
What was it again?
That's it. Let's go back to Google.
Okay, so one of them I had was atelier, but you had
I see now atelier.
Okay.
It means a workshop.
We found like 3 pronunciations. So it's a workshop. So it's a separate board that you have a little marker that you can track, because what you can do is take any unspent inspiration that you have and track it on this board. And then during your turn, you can spend this
atelier
in order to get some sort of benefit. So during your turn, you could spend 3 to clear the market, remove 4 face-up cards from the market, put out new ones, 4 to ignore a hardship, turn 1 hardship card in your area face down. It no longer affects your actions this round, though it counts as a hardship in play. Pay 5, draw 2 cards, or 6 to reject a card. And this is ways to call, Tony. Mm-hmm. A card that you played this turn, including that hardship, you can spend 6 in order to get rid of it, take it out of the game, or just get rid of some of your starter cards that towards the end of a deck building game just do you no good. But the nice thing is, as you collect achievement cards, for every achievement card you have will decrease the cost of these effects by 1. If I have 3 achievement cards, then the cost to reject a card now is only 3 instead of 6.
And that's important because you're wanting to build this up. It helps speeds up the game at the end as being able to, I can use this to cull quicker, or I get to draw additional cards, which give me the ability to match the various types of icons that are on the cards. All this comes into play. I like the fact that you're sitting there, you're banking some of this so you don't feel like you've wasted it. Now you can have only up to 20 stored. But, as we were playing, we were burning through this stuff near the end, trying to get rid of cards, trying to get rid of the hardship when we played it. And I think that's one of the nice things from that standpoint of being able to store it. And that's what, when Ignacy was on the show, he talked about this. This helps you be able to bank and use this stuff. Now, you cannot use it to buy cards in the future round. It can only be used for those various actions that are on that board. Okay, I've really got a good engine now. Now I need to get rid of the dead weight. So let's cull that stuff out. Let's get rid of it. And then that just, it can snowball quickly turn after turn. And I've seen that in many deck builders where when someone has gotten a really efficient one and been able to cull down, man, that game speeds up near the end. It's a race. It really is a race at the end.
And honestly, that's it. I think the big things about this that makes this unique is that carryover cost. You're not losing any of your resources. The fact that typical deck building games, you just play your cards and do them all. Here you must put them in a specific order to match up icons in order to generate the resources to buy more cards. And then you have that tough decision to make. If I use all 4 slots on my player board for my cards, then that means I have to take a hardship card, which is going to hurt me down the road. So a lot of little decisions like that will tweak this than other deck building games. And if you want to try this out, I hope you get into the theme, because it is heavily enforced in the rule book. All throughout the rule book is it explains things like it's time to reflect on your day. Count your inspiration. So every little rule will have some little flavor text in it. And Tony, one of the things you're supposed to do in here is you're supposed to narrate your day. After drawing inspiration from your cards you played, you're supposed to share the essence of your experience aloud, like a memory, a poem, or a moment plucked from a journal. Now, I think we did it twice. Then we stopped. It's like, all right, let's play the game.
So, and I think that's one of those things that would draw in, people who, you talk about deck builders. This is nice because think about, the granddaddy of them all, Dominion. All I'm doing is slapping down cards on the table, generating coins to go buy additional cards. There's no interaction. There's nothing that's really going on. Clank, there was the deck building, and you felt like, you've got to get out of that dungeon. But once again, I'm just slapping down cards. I'm not talking about, the dragon is nipping at my heels as I run through the Clank dungeon. Here, if you find yourself and you're inspired to do so, get with the theme. Everybody who listens to this podcast for a long time know I am not Mr. Flavor Text. For me, I'm going to play the game, and unfortunately, I'm going to bypass the flavor text. But we did. When we weren't doing it, we had fun with it.
Yes. Now, this game can be played 2 to 4 players, and in a 3 or 4 player game, there is yet another set of cards that are introduced into the deck called Revolution cards. These are habit cards. These cards can affect other players. For example, there is a card called Create a Stir in the Community. Next round, all players must spend 2 inspiration more or 2 inspiration less for muses of your choice.
2-player, you and I are playing 2, it became a card play game. Right?
Yeah.
No interaction.
Now you've got some interaction in between the players, which is always good. Because lots of time deck builders are just kind of doing your thing and ignoring everybody else. Mm-hmm. This will give some interaction for your higher count games, your 3 and 4 player games. So a lot of thought has been going to this game, even with the player count, on how it works with the higher player numbers.
Right. Other little things about, you talked about the art and everything. By the way, hey, Marty, did you know in Word, there's these 2 little buttons in the font area where you can click once and the font goes up, and you click another time, the font will go down?
You mean increase or decrease the size?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
You know what? I think we should find that for Ignacy on his keyboard. Show him where that buttons are.
Select all text, increment size by 1.
I'm kidding. Yeah.
It wasn't, and it honestly wasn't that bad. I did have to look up a couple of the icons to what they meant. Some of them were small, like the difference between there's an icon for what a muse card is, an icon for a habit card, icon for a hardship card. So you kind of had to keep looking at those, like, what is that one again? But hey, that's just old eyes right there.
Yeah. And one thing, there's not that many. So that's a big positive. If you're going to teach this to people who aren't familiar with deck builders, there's not a lot of these icons to keep track of. Matter of fact, there's I think like 15 max if you count the icons, something like that. Yeah, about 15 that you really need to track. So they're very easy. Good player aid on the back of the instructions. Take a quick photocopy of that. Let everybody see that. Straightforward deck builder with some good storytelling, because, Portal games, these are games that tell stories.
I must mention, some people do like solo in their games. This game does have a solo mode. So if you are a solo player, there is that, as it does support 1 to 4 players.
Exactly. Now, I do want to bring up, we did have a errata with one of the Adelaide functions. So be sure to check that out. Make sure that you're playing by the right rule there, because that's very important.
It was in the rule book. Yeah. It was actually stuck in the little sheet that was stuck in the rule book that told you, by the way, there's a rule change on one of these rules.
Don't think they're trying to sell you something else. That's important. Don't throw it away. You know how they'll stick this stuff in a game thing. I don't need to see that catalog. Important. Pay attention to that. So that is Bohemians from Portal Games.
5-minute initiative begins in 3, 2, 1.
Phalanx has become one of my favorite war game publishers, historical game publishers, because they're into this thing called Warros, or Warros. It's a mixture of war game and Euro game, which I really like the idea of blending those two mechanisms together. They recently sent us a game called Punica, Rome versus Carthage. This is a 2-player 20-minute game, which I'm a huge fan of, short historical themed games. And this is by designer Marasis Rosic. One person is going to play as Rome, other person is going to play as Carthage. Your main goal of the game is to try to take control of 3 of the other person's areas on a map. So you have a little map on the board. You've got these nice little wooden figures that represent ground troops that can move around the board. You have fleets that can move across the board and provide you paths to get from like one land to another across a row of fleets. And your turn is very simple. On your turn, you can either move one of your units to an adjacent spot, move your fleet, or play a card and take the action on the card. Each side has 7 cards, and they're unique. These cards are usually special abilities. Oh, I'm going to play this one. This allows me to move 3 troops. Oh, I'm going to play this one. This one side, I think Rome has this. I'm going to put a guy in a boat, move him across, and unload him onto a land on the other side. That's basically consolidating multiple moves into one action. But the thing is, though, Tony, is those cards are also used for battle, because anytime you go into a space with somebody else, a battle immediately occurs. Each of you will take one of your cards and put them face down on the table. Those cards are numbered 0 through 6. You're going to flip those over, and that's going to be strength added to whatever units are on the board. Most of the units just have a 1 strength unless you're playing as Carthage. Hannibal gets a +2 strength when attacking. If you win, the other person must lose a unit and they must retreat. If there's a tie, both people must lose units and leave. And if the defender wins, then units are lost, but they get to stay there, sort of deal. And again, the goal is to take over different spots on the map. So at the end of a turn, you control 3 spots. Now, Tony, I've played this with you, and I've played it with my dad many times. This is one of those games that the more you play, the more strategical it gets. Because with only 14 cards, it's very easy after multiple plays to learn all the cards and know what they can do. Because after you play a card, it must be discarded face up. So you always know what's in your opponent's hand. So one thing I like about this, there's no luck involved whatsoever. You know that if you start a battle, you know the cards that are left in your opponent's hand and what their options are for resolving that battle, because there are a couple cards that are allowed to be played during battle that may give you a bonus, like moving somebody else in real quick. Or Rome has the ability to retreat fast, which I used a lot. I would goad my dad into a battle, play the retreat card and back off, and then move in again the next turn, making him waste a higher cost card. And then knowing that it's like, okay, I know what the cards in my hand, I can now beat him, sort of deal.
I was going to say, the more you play, because when we played it the one time, we didn't get to play more than that because of just the timing of it. You know, I'm like, okay, I can see how this game strategically, as you learn the cards, knowing what the players have played, knowing the various actions of the other cards, that will help and make this game so much better. So, you know, the first time you play it, it may fall a little short and you're like, what is this? This is purely luck of playing cards. No, there's a lot of strategy. And I realized that after the game. If I knew what cards and actions on the bottom of your cards did, I could better understand strategically what you may play. Like you just said, the retreat card. He hasn't played that yet. Is he forcing me into this so that I extend my forces and then later come in and wipe me out? Now, for those of you who don't know what the Punic Wars were, there's a great little video out there on YouTube. Oversimplified does it, but it's the Mediterranean, Italy, all that. That map that they have in there is really gorgeous. I'm sorry. It seems so simple to say such a thing for that, but it's really done, very well laid out, easy to tell the borders. And when you get into games like this, that's important to understand where things break apart because you are looking for majority in various areas. Or what's adjacent, orthogonal. Which word am I using here?
I think just adjacent's good.
Okay. Just want to make sure. And I mean, you know, and I like the fact that they're true to the Hannibal crossed the Alps with the elephant shot, which not a lot made him because it was pretty cold. Hannibal was a major strategic general, and that plays out in these cards as well. And you have to be able to play a solid offense. This sounds stupid, but then maintain your defense. And I think if you commit to both, you're not going to play very well, because that's what I did. I committed to both defense and offense in this game. That did not work out well for me. I think I needed to concentrate, put a little bit more pressure on you when we play, gone more offensive.
Yeah. And with the boats out there had a whole new mechanic of, if you get a line of ships, you can basically ferry guys straight across one move from one piece of land over to the other. So ship battles are important because knocking out somebody's ship takes it off the board. But if a person wants to, they can sacrifice one of their land soldiers and bring a fleet back. But another loss condition is if you lose all your land forces. There's no way to regenerate those. So once they've been taken off the board, they're gone for good. So there's attrition throughout the game. Another interesting thing too is the cards that you've played will go back into your hand after you play your last card. So if I play my last card, I scoop up all the other cards and I'm ready to go. That's very strategic too, because when I was playing my dad, there would be times when I would see I only have 1 or 2 cards left and he has 3 or 4. I would quickly play cards so I could scoop them all up, knowing that he's only got those few cards in his hand that he can play now. So now I have a better chance of playing what I want to play and winning battles I want to win. So lots of times I would use that for the final strike. It's like, okay, you're short on cards. I've got a handful. Let's go. It is a really cool game.
I like the fact that it was quick, easy, swap sides, see who can, play it again here. So it's one of those good filler games. I hate to use that word, but it's a good one.
Yeah, and only 20 minutes. There's really good player guides. You're like, I can't keep up with the other team has because I don't, well, here's a nice thing. If you get a player guide, each side shows the cards from each side. So it's very easy to follow who has what and how it works because it explains it. The only thing I wish is missing, Tony, is you gave more of an historical explanation of what happened during the Punic Wars than the book did. I wish that with all historical games, there would be like a page or something and just explain who Hannibal was, why were they fighting, what was going on this time. That was missing from this game, and I wish that it was in there.
Fun game. Good for Flanks for keep putting these things out. Keep doing it. Keep finding those little skirmishes that occurred. I mean, there's some history here. Keep going.
Yeah. We've liked games like this, like 300, etc., over the years. So I'm glad to see Phalanx coming out with their version of a 20-minute game called Punica, Rome versus Carthage. And if you're interested in this game, we got an extra copy that we're going to be giving away. Yeah, sealed and everything that we're going to be giving away. And to enter, it's like we do with all of our contests, head over to our Discord channel, go to the contest section, and I'm going to post a message there. If you would like to be entered to win a copy of Punica, just give me a thumb here. And then after 2 weeks, I'll randomly pick one of those entered and send you a copy. This is US only because I'm covering the shipping and everything like that. And then trying to keep it as cheap as possible in the contiguous US. So anyway, just head over to our Discord channel. If you want to find out how to get invited, go to our website, rolldicetechnames.com. You'll see a link for it there.
5-minute initiative is complete.
ShopPortalGames.com. 2 big things are happening right now. First off, we got the new release of Nurashima Hex Battle, which will provide you 2 armies, an incredible playmat, and an unbeatable price. Because if you just pick up the Hex mat alone, that's $20 on his website. And I know you're going to like it. So when you go over to ShopPortalGames.com and order Battle, go ahead and pick up the additional armies that are out there. Uranopolis, Vegas, New York. Matter of fact, you could even pick up, Merchants Guild, which is at a low price of $8. Go ahead and head over to Shop Portal Games, pick up Battle, and while you're there, go ahead and add Bohemians to your cart as well. This is one of those games where Ignacy said, hey, where I have fixed the deck building problems. Get your own copy and you be the judge of that.
Five-minute initiative begins in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, do you have enough tile drafting, tile placement, point scoring games on your shelf? No, you don't. Not until you try Fountains from the OP Games game design by Kendrick Winks. All right, before we even get started, Tony, these things that you're drafting and putting in front of you to build and everything, they're not cardboard. These are like foam board pieces. These are really super cool and nice. They're thick. They're sturdy. I really like this material that they used in this game.
Oh, yeah. It stands out on the table. We're going to design a game where you're actually building a fountain landscape. Fountains, y'all. Think of an intricate fountain that you see in a garden, bubbling down, feeding the little koi fish throughout. That's what you're doing here. You are building a fountain, and you're doing this by taking tiles off a board by moving a token, a meeple, around the board that can move up to 3, and it jumps over additional. Now, there's 3 of these meeples on here. So, to me, this is if you play games like Patchwork, where you're moving to gain these tiles, it's very similar to that action where you're moving. Okay, you're moving this meeple to get the tile.
Yeah, it's a rondelle.
It's a rondelle.
It's not like you have your own piece that you're moving around. There are these 3 different color pieces. And as you start building out your fountain, I think the hardest thing for me to grasp was, Tony, these shapes are really some bizarre looking shapes. And you have to figure out how to fit them together to make them work, because as you play the game, you're going to start stacking tiles on top of each other, these fountain tiles, because the higher you go, the more points that you're going to be able to score with those tiles. Thing is, though, when you place a tile, it must be totally supported by other tiles underneath. It can't have any overhanging or any gaps or anything. And here's the kicker. Water must flow down or equal levels. There are some tiles that have like a little fountain, a little spout, and the edges of these tiles will have little openings where water could flow. You need to make sure that none of your water is blocked going out to the different pools in your fountain. You want to make sure that each pool has a flowing run of water. And if it doesn't, it gets pondweed, or we kept calling pond scum. It's just to signify you can't score this pool because there's no water running to it. And Tony, scoring is very important because there's 3 different color pawns on the rondelle. There matches 3 of the colored spaces around this rondelle. If you take one of the colored pawns and put it on the same matching colored space, it's going to score something on everybody's pool at that point.
The levels matter in points. The higher the level, the more victory points. You're putting all this together. The fitting of the pieces, the design of this, it was like, how does this fit? Oh, look, it fits right in that little slot. Ain't that special? Oh, my heavens. Wow. Okay, don't go there because Marty's going to score. If you go say orange fish, Marty's going to score. Don't go there. Make sure you block so that the fish token doesn't go there. Block it with another color. All right, do that.
So that was happening because one of these is pools. If somebody takes the blue token and lands on the pool scoring, everybody counts the little individual pools on their board. The person with the most pools gets 10 points. Well, if I'm sitting there looking at Mark and he's got more pools than me, I don't want him to score. So yeah, you can purposely move, and like if you put a different color on the blue, that means Mark can't move there on his turn to score that one. And then, like you mentioned, the fish, if you land the fish on the fish scoring, the fish pawn, you pick what color fish is going to score. Well, of course, you're going to pick the one that you have the most of. And the final is just lily pads. Just count up the number of lily pads. But then, Tony, as you said, these levels matter. If a lily pad's on the second level, they're worth 2. If it's on the third level, each lily pad is worth 3 on that. And you add all those up and you get points. So one thing I do appreciate in this game is you're constantly scoring points the entire game. The tough thing is you're constantly scoring points the entire game, because when a scoring happens, everybody's got to immediately stop. And you immediately start counting up everything and adding up of your points. So it actually brings the game to a stall, and then you kind of start back up again.
I know as you get more and more plays, it'd be a lot smoother in that, but I agree with you. It's an immediate, let's halt. Everybody count your number of pools. Okay, he's got the most. He gets 10 points. Oh, we're tied for second. We get the second place points. Okay, moving right along. Yeah, that probably was one of the big aspects. There was no AP in getting tiles. There was no AP for me in placement. I didn't think anybody was having AP. I mean, it was pretty straightforward how the tiles could be placed on one another and what rules you had to keep from that standpoint from breaking. And the biggest thing is making sure, okay, did you trace that jet out correctly? Is it flowing correctly? Remember, water can't flow uphill, people. It just doesn't happen.
Thematically, it all 100% makes total sense. This is a game that plays 1 to 5 players. It's 30 to 45 minutes long. There are also these things called fountain design cards, which are basically objective cards. So you get these cards and you'll score points based on whatever the objective is on there. If you like tile drafting, tile placement games, this is exactly what this is. The unique twist to me is that rondelle mechanic. Is that what you're using to draft the tiles and to kick off scoring? And we were purposely making sure certain people didn't score to prevent somebody from running away with a particular thing, maybe like lily pads or number of pools, etc.
I enjoyed the game. I can't wait to try it with Donna. She loves her tile laying games. My concern is that there may be a little too much AP with the tile placement on the first play. On the second and third, I think she'll see right through it. But I think of bringing new people into this game, you're constantly going to have that effort of, hey, what is this? You know,
because you just said earlier there was no AP, and now you're saying you're worried about AP.
I know AP from the standpoint, once we got the initial concept of the pools down, I just think you'll always have to refresh that every time. But you see it once, I got a feeling you'll grasp it every time you bring the game out.
That is Fountains from OP Games.
And keeping in line with our 2-player games, because, well, you know, it seems like a lot of the big games are coming out in 2-player now, because maybe you only got 2 people, or you just don't want to carry with you on a trip a large board game. So these 2-player games are perfect. And one of the more popular games that came out many moons ago, Everdell, has joined the fray. Everdell Duo, designed by James Wilson and Clarissa Wilson, published by Starling Games and a bunch of other people. Like Marty and I, we've played Everdell, where you are critters in a forest trying to get some resources to put out a tableau of cards. And this game is very streamlined for a 2-player game.
One interesting thing about it is they very much promote the things you can do with this game. You can play 2-player cooperative, you can play 2-player competitive, and then there's actually a campaign game that's involved. So it's one of those things, they have a lot of modes of game in this one box, which could be pretty nice for people who don't want to go head to head. If there's a family, it's like, you know, husband and wife, I don't want to compete against you. Let's just do the co-op version. I do appreciate like the co-op version of this. And obviously this is a lot shorter game than what the Everdell is. We're talking to 45 minutes, and it's played over 4 rounds, and those 4 rounds are represented by seasons.
Right. On a player's turn, you have an action of playing a card, or you may place one of your workers out there, which will gain you benefits, that will gain you resources or gain you the capability of getting cards. Or you may pick a card from the display. Now, probably one of the most unique elements of this game that I enjoyed was the fact that when you do one of those actions, play a card or place a worker, you're moving the sun or moon down a track, which is progressing toward the end of a season. And there's some strategy in that because of how you get to play. Because once the sun or moon get to the end, you can't do the action that's tied to it. The sun lets you place a worker. Gets down to the end of it, hey, guess what? It's done.
Yeah, the only options you have at that point is either play a card or pick a card. The play a card moves the moon. The pick a card action is move the moon or sun. And then once the sun and moon gets all the way to the end, that's going to represent the end of the round. You're going to pick up all your workers that you've been placed on the board. You're going to have 3 on for each person. And then those markers are going to go back to the beginning. And the next season tile will say this person accumulate this X amount of cards, and now it's a tortoise and a hare that are playing. That's the 2 players, and it'll tell you which side's going to go first that round.
Right. Now, from a strategy standpoint in this 2-player, the pick a card is probably one of the most powerful actions you can take because both players have up to 3 workers that they can place out on the board. This pick a card will allow you to advance. If I pick a card, then I can move the sun and then potentially keep the other player from being able to play all of their workers.
Right.
So I think that's the big strategy to me, Marty. I was sitting there thinking, you know, you and I were able to place out all of our workers. If I had been a little bit smarter in playing, I wouldn't have possibly, maybe I should have picked a card to prevent you from putting out your workers.
Right. And getting the workers out there is pretty important. This is, you mentioned before we started recording, this is kind of a resource management trade-in type game that we've talked about many times. There are many resources that you can collect in the game, such as twigs, resin, pebbles, berries that are used to actually pay for the cards that you're going to put into play. And the worker spot locations are going to give you access to those resources. So it's important to get those out there to accumulate those resources so that you can then play the card. And there's different types of cards that can be played. There's a card that you can play that just gives you a one-time benefit. There's a card that actually has a new worker spot on the card that either side can use. If your opponent uses it, it actually gives you a victory point. There is in-game scoring cards. So the cards have multiple purpose. And just one thing about placing the worker, there's also event tiles that are randomly placed at the top of the board at the beginning of the game. Those are also in-game scoring. Like, okay, I've got one of every type of card in play. I'm going to put my worker here, claim this tile, which is immediate points. And those aren't refilled. So those are also goals that both of you and I are going for. So you, like you said, you might could block the other person from being able to put a worker out that round, which may allow you to claim one of those event tiles that the other person was actually working on too.
Right. And there are a ton of those. I mean, my goodness. So definitely the replayability, how the game will end. Now, there's like 5 or 6, I can't remember all the like A, B, C, D, E event tiles that are there. So you have multiple combinations that are going to come out. Really nice. One last thing I want to point out, Marty, is there's this method of, you know how you'll get resource constrained and you won't be able to do something.
Yes.
There's this occupied token that you can gather or get during the game. What this allows you to do is critter cards are paid in berries. You can put out a critter card that says, oh, it costs you 3 berries. Now, if that critter card has a symbol on it that matches a building symbol on it, and you have a occupied token, instead of playing berries, you just say, hey, that critter is now occupying that building. And you don't have to pay the berries.
Yeah, so you have to have the building in play that matches the same color of the critter that you're getting ready to play. I like that concept because early on I was trying to build buildings of different colors. And then as I claimed critters, I wouldn't have to spend berries to get them out on the board. But there's only a couple spots on the board that you can place your worker to even get occupy tokens. So that spot actually became valuable during the game too.
Overall, played a lot of 2-player games. One of the things I will say, Everdell, that's that big behemoth. You got to get out, play it again. It plays better with 3-4 players. This one, I think, if you have that itch to get Everdell, take a look at it. Like Marty said, it plays fast. I mean, quick turns, quick turnaround. So not a lot of, oh my gosh, what do I do next? How can I combo this, combo that? I didn't feel like that was going to be in this game, but there were opportunities for that. So yeah, I really enjoyed Everdell Duo.
Yeah, I agree. Everdell Duo is another one of those solid 2-player Euro games. I appreciate the multiple ways to play. The cooperative, the campaign, or the competitive. I would probably more play competitive with the people that I play with. So yeah, if you're itching for like a quick resource management style game, it doesn't do a lot new, but it condenses the Everdell experience down to a small 2-player box.
So that is Everdell Duo from Starling Games.
We say it all the time. Tony and I are into card games. We played a lot of trading card games. And when we were at Gen Con, we had a meeting with our good people over at Luna Imports. And they have a game that they've come out with from Korea, or they brought over from Korea, called Cookie Run. Now, this is a straight TCG. So booster packs and all this stuff, starter decks. That's a head-to-head game that has some very cute art on it. It's almost reminds me of like Pokemon art. It's very, very kid friendly and everything like that. And where you're trying to get cookies onto a board and you're trying to fight each other and break the other person's cookie and accumulate points. I mean, that's kind of a quick overview of it, right, Tony?
Oh yeah. I mean, and you forgot one of the key words. Yo, is Cookie Run in the what's up, Braverse?
That's what that means?
I don't know. I'm making it up.
Oh, yeah, because the full name of the game is Run Braverse, Braverse.
I didn't realize this. It came from the Cookie Run IP Korean mobile game. I didn't realize that.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know that either, but now I understand why it's big, because it's big in Asia, and they're trying to get a foothold into the market here in the U.S. So you and I got a couple of the starter decks to sit down and play. Now, Tony, as we play this, I would say this is a mixture of several games to me.
Okay.
You're going to have a hand of cards to start out the game. It has the Star Wars Unlimited thing of, at the beginning of your turn, you're going to draw a couple cards, take one card, and put it down into play as a resource. It has that element. You can only have 2 cookie cards, which are basically kind of your fighters, your characters, on board and play at a time. The resources that you use are going to be used to pay for other cards to put into play, like an item card, a stage card, or for attacking. Now, this is like Pokemon, because when you want to attack with a Pokemon, you have to have the right resource cards to spend to generate that attack. Same here. I might have one that says, hey, if I spend 3 resources, I can deal 3 damage. The last thing it reminds me of is One Piece. One Piece has this idea of, at the beginning of the game, you have some cards dealt off to the side from your deck. That's your health. And as you take damage, you'll flip over the card, and at the bottom, it could have a flip ability. The same sort of thing is here. You don't start out the game with a side deck of health cards. Instead, when you put a cookie into play, it's going to have health value, let's say 4. You're going to draw 4 cards off the top of your deck, stack them face down underneath your cookie. As it takes damage, you're going to take off one of those cards from that HP stack and then flip it over, look at the bottom. If it has a flip ability, it's something that you get to do during your turn. So to me, Tony, it felt like a mixture of those 3 games.
Okay. Now, for me, so that HP element of, okay, I've got a level 1, 2, or 3 cookie out there that has various HP, and putting those cards underneath. I've just lost those cards. As you think about deck building, and that's one of the things I really enjoy about these TCGs is usually, how do I build a great deck? This is another element. This is another layer to a deck. When as you're building is, what flip abilities do I want in here that may show up that can cause damage? You've got to consider that as you're building this deck. As people break or faint your cookies, you get to level 10. When the levels add up to 10, game over. It's done.
I don't understand. Levels add up to 10. Explain that to me.
Okay, so every cookie out there has a level 1, 2, or 3. As you break or faint my cookie,
which means
he's lost all his HP.
Thank you.
He goes to the break area.
Uh-huh.
And if you're able to beat enough of my cookies to where all the levels added up, sum up to 10 or more, I lose.
Yes. I think that's clever. I like that, because we also saw ways of where you could take cards from your break area and move them to your trash pile or your discard area, which now it's like, oh, I've got 8 points worth of level cards in here. This card allows me to take one and put it to my discard pile. I'm going to take this one over here that's worth 3. Now there's only 5 points in my break area, which means your opponent has to deal more damage. So there's little clever card mechanics that's built into the game for manipulating that break area too.
When you break one of my cookies, make my cookie faint, I'm able to immediately get another cookie out if I have it. Because if I can't, there's some ramifications in the rules. We never got to this to have to look it up. But I thought that was good that I don't have to wait till my turn. Also like the fact that cookies come in ready to go.
It doesn't have that summoning sickness like so many other games have.
Exactly. Now, there are 5 starter decks that are out there: blue, green, purple, yellow, and red. And you and I got the blue and yellow. And I will say this, they were very different in how they played. The cost to play various cards, you can have any color or specific colors. Like you got to have all yellow to activate this power. Everything you know in a TCG, it's here. It's just that art style that's a little different, and that HP for me. So, it was fun to play. It was quick. My cookies got fainted real quick, and then it made me hungry.
Yeah. So here's the thing is, I like the rule system of the game. It's an IP that I don't know a lot about or have a lot of interest in. If this rule set was in another themed game, I would be more apt to play it a little more.
Right.
Again, there's nothing against, even with Pokemon, even though that's a more younger fitted game, I like that IP. And so I can relate to the game that I'm playing. So this one I just can't relate to because I don't know the mobile game and I don't know this IP at all. But I think it's a solid rule system. And if you're looking for a game to teach kids, I think this is great. If you want to teach a kid as TCG, Magic's probably not the best place to start, but Pokemon or Cookie Run might be.
Right. And believe it or not, the font was small. What is it with these people in fonts?
I guess you got to get a lot of text on the card, so they have to keep it very small typeface.
I agree with you. I don't need another TCG in my life at this time. And we'll see how well. I mean, they just announced, I think you told me that they're going to have a championship coming up.
A North American championship. Yep.
Right.
Sure are.
So that's huge. We always talk about you've got to have player support.
Yep.
Championship's pretty darn big.
Yeah. Organized play is always a big deal. So again, Cookie Run, big game from Korea. You can get starter decks if you just want to try it out. And again, I think it is a great game for kids, and it's a rule set that I really enjoy. So that is Cookie Run Braverse from, I don't even know who it's from.
Dev Sisters Corporation.
Dev Sisters. Yes. I actually see that on their website right now. So yeah, go buy a starter deck. Let us know what you think if you play it.
5-minute initiative is complete.
Well, whenever we play games, I love to create sort of an ambient atmosphere. If we're playing Lord of the Rings, I'm playing Lord of the Rings music, etc. But if you really want to add some more elements to that besides just music, let me talk about this really cool app. It's called Tabletone. This app mixes not only music, but ambient sounds. It is basically an adaptive audio engine that you can tweak to change whatever feeling that you're having. If you're relaxed feeling, it'll play some relaxed music. If you're going into some action and fight, you can create a very action-based scenario. You can have certain locations. Maybe you're in a tavern, you hear jars clinking, or you're in the woods and you hear like the rustle of leaves. Tony, this app is really cool. Just basically you click where you're at, what you want. You can change the intensity level, you can change the mood, and it just morphs one right into the other. If you're in a relaxed state and all of a sudden it's like, people are coming over the hill, we have to fight. Press a button and it just gently moves into more of an action-based theme. It is a really cool concept.
Let me make sure I'm understanding you right here. So it's pretty straightforward. You don't have to sit there and fiddle with it. I mean, it sounds like It's designed for the game master or for whoever, is hosting this during game night. They can say, hey, we're getting ready to go do a big battle. Boom. This just happens. Well, that's pretty darn cool.
It is.
And I guess their library is always growing. They're going to continue to grow this customizable library.
Of course they are. Because you can have settings in fantasy. You can have settings in sci-fi. I've seen like a setting for Warhammer. And here's the thing. None of this is AI. All this is 100% human-generated sound effects and music. Again, I'm just so impressed by the UI itself that at a touch of a button, it just morphs into one location to another. If this is something you think you'd be interested in, you need to go check out Tabletone. You can download it for iOS and Android. You can get a free 14-day trial, and if you use code TONE30, you can get 30% off the first 3 months of your subscription. That is Tabletone over at tabletone.app, or just look for it on the Apple Store or Google Play.
Pumpkin spice is out. We just heard that there is no voodoo flavor of Mountain Dew. That stinks. But what else does that mean? That means new shows are hitting the airways. People, that's right. Adjust your rabbit ears and get tuned in, baby, because here they come. CBS has got a new lineup, and I'm just here to tell you, I'm sorry, I had to. I know that makes Marty laugh every time I say that. But we got the Blue Bloods in Boston. Donnie's back.
Whoa. I thought Blue Bloods was done.
The New York, but we've moved to Boston, baby. Here we go. Beantown, here we come.
Gosh.
Here we are. What? You know you like it. You know you enjoy it.
Is Tom Selleck in this one?
I'm sure he'll make an appearance. The man is old. I'm just saying. But I'm sure he'll make an appearance in that. And another one on CBS that you may need to check out is called Sheriff Country. Do you know why?
No.
She played in Firefly.
Is it Marina Baccarana, whatever her name is?
Yeah, she's got the lead. So you know that she's bringing a whole new level to CBS because she's in that geriatric age as well.
Oh, fall TV. No, I used to love when the fall TV announcements were going to be made, and new seasons, new series, and new seasons of shows I'll watch. But Now, because mainly most of the stuff that we watch is in streaming, it can just drop at any time. Oh, look, it's July 3rd. There's that new series we're going to watch. Like currently we're in the middle of Only Murders in the Building. Mm-hmm. At least it did start in September, which has that kind of that fallish feel to it. So, but no, we are not ingesting any new fall TV shows. We're picking up ones we've already watched, including, The Floor's back. So we've started watching that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, The Floor is back, and they have made it a little spicy. That's right.
Yes.
We got the states on the floor. We got 2 people from each state. So 2 times 50, there's 100 people on the floor. See how quickly I did that? To keep things interesting. And I think they did this, Marty, to encourage people not to just win a category and go back to the floor and try to wait till the very end. They've added, a couple aspects. They still have the time boost, or this one interests me, swap categories with anyone on the floor. How'd you feel about that?
So I don't understand. Does everybody have it immediately, or do you have to earn that?
It's like the time boost. You have to win in 3, and you get either the time boost or swap categories.
Oh, okay. So I haven't seen anybody get that yet. So, all right. So if you do you have to choose at the time that you win 3 in a row? Don't know.
No idea. I have not seen anybody. I would think that if you get it, then for it to work, maybe you inherited a category you don't want. And you're like, okay, I'm going to go swap with so-and-so who is doing, what's one of them?
Just another subject that you feel you're better in.
Exactly. Or people don't want to, that will give you time to study for. Exactly. Or maybe you won't swap with someone to extend the lead. This will be a late game thing, I believe.
Yep. Do you have to I wonder if you have to use it at the time you say it, or at any time you can just say, I'm using my...
Yeah, we could Google and find out, but I like to be surprised. I'm going to be surprised. And then they also have the golden square,
which we haven't seen pop up yet. Just a random golden square, but I can't remember what it does when it pops up. Is it worth more money?
You win $10,000.
Okay.
Them trying to once again challenge people to go out and stay on the floor, make it more interactive. I appreciate that. And I know you've probably seen it, but the one where they did the sitcom families.
Yep.
I did okay. I thought I'd do better than I did.
Same here. I did okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is, I know the show, but I can't remember the
name. and there was one where it was name the, tight roping. Name that, not the thing. It was a bed of nails. But don't name the thing, name the activity.
I know. I think that was a bad category.
That was a terrible one. Yeah, I agree with you. I was just like, but there is one show on CBS that I will mention, DMV. I can't wait to see what that is.
All right, a show called DMV. What's that about?
The DMV.
How boring can this be? It's got to be a comedy, right?
It's a comedy. It's a complete comedy. And I think about too when the Zootopia did it, the animated film, and then all the sloths worked at the DMV. One of the best parts of that whole movie. So I'm hoping that it is a decent one, but I'm sure they're going to do the same thing that, like The Office did, where they're talking to the camera, that whole thing.
That's overplayed. There's been way too many shows that's done it.
I agree.
Did you see there's a new Office? It's no interest in seeing it. It's they've already
done it. I never liked that. I never liked that type of thing. I mean, I know Abbott Elementary's doing it and that kind of stuff. I'm just like, I've never enjoyed that. I did watch something that came out, streaming. You speak of streaming. Donna and I are watching an incredibly happy show called Chernobyl on HBO Max. Oh, that is so depressing.
I've heard it was good, but yeah, I don't want to watch it.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing how close we came, how close they came to just blowing up the world. You don't realize, and I don't know how much of it's true.
I was going to say how much has been sensationalized for storytelling, but
exactly. I mean, but the science is there. The science is definitely there. I've watched enough YouTube videos on it to understand what happened. And you and I, we were in school and college when this occurred, and I remember how little we knew. Internet wasn't around or anything like that. So anyway, there we go. That is the fall TV. So we've had sports balls, board games, and TV.
One more thing. I'm not going to talk about too much now, but I am totally addicted to Final Fantasy Tactics, which is a remake of a PlayStation 1 game. This is one of those things where grinding is fun. I've never done this thing called a job system. That's what this has. It's almost like classes where, all right, once I get to level 3 of the chemist class, I can now move over. I can do white mage. And once I do white mage level 5 and this guy level 4, this unlocks another job that I can do. And so I'm just grinding, trying to work up to open these really cool jobs. It almost has an MMO feel to me at this point. Because remember playing, a lot of the fun of Guild Wars 2 was like, oh man, I can't wait till I get to level such and such so I can finally get this skill. And you just grind. It's like, oh, this skill's cool. Okay, I'm just going to grind to get to the next one. It's kind of what I'm doing now. The story's really good too, but it's like, ooh, before I move the story along, I want to get this before I move the story. So I'm just having a really good time with it. A lot of people say it's one of their favorite games of all time, and I see why.
And I know I mentioned this in our Discord channel about Pokemon and the real-time battles or something with the new Pokemon, so I'm going to investigate that some more.
Pokemon Z to A comes out next week, so yeah, let me know what you think. The reviews will be coming out any day now.
Yes, that's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, what is it? Not Z, they call it Z. Z to Alpha.
Z to Alpha, yeah. Well, I think it's just Z to A.
Z to
Z, Z, yeah.
So anyway, well, with that, you have been well informed here beginning in October. So just keep rolling dice.
And take your names. Hey, y'all, thanks for listening. Don't forget our giveaway of Punica. Head over to our Discord channel. Go to the contest section of the server and sign up to get your chance to win Punica. You can find all information for our socials over on our website, rolldicetakenames.com. And if you want to support the show, you can do so over at buymeamoonpie.com.
You did it again. Not about board games, not about food, not about anything we talked about. Everybody's talking about your leg cramp.
The Charlie horse. I had to clip that one out and put that out on YouTube. So yeah, it's
You never do know what strikes a chord with people.
Hello, it's Ian from Respect the Crit, an inclusive tabletop RPG actual play podcast about exploring new worlds.
Our camera pans down on the world of Ord Mantell.
New characters.
Carolus would like to make a counter offer.
Chinese 2 scoops Charizard.
If that's your voice, I'm going to be so excited.
Yeah. And playing whatever we want to play. Sabak!
What a great game.
From Dungeons and Dragons.
Can you roll another D20?
12.
You, for the next 72 hours, are 12 years old.
Oh no!
Oh no! To the post-apocalypse.
He's a vault dweller, you could probably tell with the jumpsuit and everything like that. Hey, lads, you gotta tell me where your vault is?
It's not gonna happen.
We've got stories in all kinds of settings, including video games.
This is gonna be a Sephiroth-free experience.
Horror.
Crawling out of the mirror, a nightmarish amalgamation of twisted limbs and jagged teeth, its visage a grotesque mockery of humanity.
Oh my god!
And a galaxy far, far away.
This is fun, let's do it again! And then he'll punch it and we'll go into light speed.
The dice tell a story, and we have a hell of a lot of fun rolling with it.
No way.
No.
Are you
joking
me?
Oh my god. This is so... Yes.
Whatever the system, miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Join us bi-weekly every other Wednesday for characters, campaigns, and new episodes, anywhere podcasts exist.